Thank you. Appreciate you asking. Right now, we've had some improvement health-wise with some of our staff members. I had one guy from the staff return, another guy still out. We also have a couple of players have returned to practice, which was good to see. We've also had some guys come out of quarantine. It was good to see some beautiful faces, some smile on some guys' faces. Today we're going to have hopefully a good practice and a healthy one, which is the most important thing at this moment. And we'll see when we get ready to get on the bus, which guys will be available for tomorrow's matchup versus Illinois.
As I know you won't give specific players, but as far as numbers maybe of guys who are actually sick versus just out because of protocols, close contact, things like that, where they're, I guess, can you share any numbers on guys who are actually feeling ill?
Well, we have by the Big Ten standards 7 players in order to be available and active to play a game, and 1 coach. So right now at this moment, we have 7 players and 1 coach available. But you never know how it can change tomorrow. You just never know. You just gotta, put your head down, lay on the pillow, and before you lay on the pillow, say a nice, beautiful prayer for everyone, which I love doing. And I feel it's the right thing out of my heart to do. And then when you wake up in the morning, you get the text from the trainer or a call from the trainer as far as what we have available and who's ready to go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question comes from Craig Ross from the Michigan Insider.
Coach, I wonder if you've been able to have anything that's an actual coherent practice, or you've been limited to sort of a couple of players doing one thing and a couple maybe doing something else?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've had, very unorthodox practices as of late. We haven't been able to have, 10 players to practice in the last week or so. But, we've always, been able to figure out as far as how we can, those who are available to practice, what can we do to get them better and also get them ready. But, this is the challenging times that, we all are dealing with. And, some programs have dealt with it. We're not the first. Unfortunately, when it's you, then you get a chance to see like how challenging it really is. But yes, it's frustrating when you don't have all your guys. And when you do have all your players out there, we all at times take it for granted. But until, you experience a COVID situation and you have to go through, the COVID protocols with, guys being out, you just embrace the suck and roll up your sleeves and figure, just do your best.
Thank you.
Next up is Alejandro also from the Michigan Insider.
Juwan, with the benefit now of hindsight, do you have any thoughts on how the Big Ten regular season played out last year with the Illinois-Michigan controversy? And given kind of the backlash that stemmed even from their athletic department, does that play into any extra motivation for you and the team this season?
Last year is the past. So I always, if you get to know me, I look at moving forward in life. And with that, this is a new season. And, you see the challenges that we all are dealing with this year. I think Illinois had some problems with their program with COVID. So we're looking forward to playing the game tomorrow. And we're happy that we get the opportunity to go out there and compete. And I'm so proud of our guys, the way how they've handled this situation.
Next up, we'll go back to Andrew from MLive.
Juwan, I've heard some kind of talk nationally about maybe changes to the redshirt rule to allow guys to play, to make sure you have a roster without losing the redshirt. I guess, do you have any thoughts on that? Can you share anything about any current guys on the roster that you were or are considering redshirt?
Well, I haven't read anything about it. I've heard, from one of my assistants that, I believe there are 2 conferences that threw the idea out there to And, if to my knowledge, it wasn't anyone from the Power Five conferences, which is one, obviously the Big Ten, which is the conference that we compete in. Until that information is put out there, then I'll get into it and read it. But as of right now, I don't, I can't comment on something that right now that's not even, been put on the table.
Sure. All right. Thanks.
Next up is Clayton Safey from the Wolverine.
Yeah, Coach, just wondering your impressions of Illinois on film, what stands out, and what kind of challenge you feel like they're going to be tomorrow night.
Illinois, they're a very well-coached team that plays extremely hard on both ends of the floor. They're physical. They do a tremendous job in, playing inside out. Coffee, obviously, we know, one of the big imposing forces in the inside with his strength, his toughness, skill level. Their team is, patient enough, and they run a lot of their offensive sets that goes through him first. They also have shooting on the floor at all four positions. And I'm speaking of shooting where three-point shooting, Frazier obviously is the one, and as well as Plummer, both of those guys shoot the ball extremely well from the outside. But then you got to add on Granderson and Williams, Williams, in my opinion, is the glue guy to the team. He's been there for a while. He's a two-way player. He makes when he plays. He plays extremely solid. You can tell this guy really knows how and has a great feel for the game. But then they also have, good bench play from their guys that comes off the bench who, Luke Good, who shoots the ball pretty good. And Hawkins brings them great energy and shooting. And then, you never know what Cabello. I treat it like Cabello like he's playing, and he's one of the premier guards, in the country who, his last season, as I remember, when we played him here at Michigan, we had a tough time, guarding him in ball screens. We had a tough time guarding him and, off the press when we did press, and, he got in the paint. He was able to create a lot of scoring opportunities for himself and others. So, they're one of the top teams in this league.
Coach, will move over to Austin Meek from The Athletic.
Hey, Juwan. What's your level of optimism right now that you'll be able to reschedule these last two games that you weren't able to play? And without those games on the schedule right now, does that increase the urgency to take advantage of the opportunities for some marquee wins when those are out there?
Well, I would say this. We are going to play those games, and we're looking forward to playing it. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but, the Big Ten and, our ADs will all get together and we'll figure it out like how we did last year.
Next up is Zach Shaw from Michigan Insider.
Hey, Juwan, I'm curious what you've seen from your players and maybe your leaders on the team during this. I mean, you guys have played, I think, 3 games in about 5 weeks, and now you can't even practice in full. I guess, how hard is it to stay locked in, and how have they done in terms of keeping the team locked in?
Well, it's been great, having not just leadership from, Eli, but, from every guy has to get credit for it. Every guy that has been available to practice and participate on, finding solutions on, to help, us, become a better team and correct some of the, the correctables and control what we can control. And I love how the mindset has been, the attitude, the positivity, throughout the entire team as well as the staff. And, it's remarkable just to be around a group that, not making excuses or crying out for, a petty party or anything like that. We rolling up our sleeves and staying together and staying locked in on, the big picture.